Hello, grade 7 students. Welcome back to another English lesson. Today's lesson is 6D, Listen to plus Speak. As always, let's go through our learning objectives. So, by the end of this video, you will be able to first discuss vocabulary related to water sports. Second, get the main idea and locate specific information after listening to a dialogue. And finally, you will be able to speak about past experiences. So please get your student book and have it open at page 81 and your workbook to page 86. Are you ready? Let's start. Alright, let's start today's lesson with a short discussion. Do you like water sports? Have you ever tried any of the water sports that you see in this picture? If your answer is yes, what did you think of them? If your answer is no, which ones would you like to try? Please pause the video and think of answers to these questions carefully. Okay, please go to your team's account and share your answers with your teacher and classmates to get feedback. Now let's discuss the differences between the water sports. Look at the following pictures and answer this question. What is the difference between surfing and windsurfing? Good job, dear students. Surfing is a water sport in which somebody stands on a board in the sea and rides on waves. As for windsurfing, it's a water sport in which you move quickly across water on a board with a large sail. Next, what is the difference between diving and scuba diving? Look at these pictures carefully and think of the answer. Excellent! Diving is the act of jumping into water with your arms and head first. It's also clear from the picture that scuba diving is an activity in which you swim underwater using special equipment to breathe. Finally, what is the difference between sailing and canoeing? Very good. These two water sports are different, so sailing is a sport in which you travel on a boat with sails, while canoeing is a sport in which you travel on a boat by using paddles. Now let's practice. Let's work on exercise A, page 86 in your workbook. For this exercise, you need to label the water sports. You can always go back to your student book if you're confused about any of these water sports. Now, please pause the video, complete this exercise, and come back when you are done. Alright, let's see how well you did in this exercise. Number 1, sailing. Number 2, windsurfing. Number 3, if you answered surfing, then you are correct. Number 4, water skiing. Number 5, canoeing. Number 6, diving. And finally, number 7, scuba diving. Amazing! By completing this exercise, this means we have achieved the first objective. We have discussed vocabulary related to water sports. Now let's move on to the listening task. In your student book, page 81, please pause the video and read the 4 possible answers before we start the listening task. Okay, let's start.
3. Listen to. B. Listen to a brother and sister, Kelly and Dylan, talking. What is the main topic of the conversation?
Hi, Kelly.
Hello, Dylan. Your sunglasses look cool. Are they new?
Yeah, thanks. Mum helped me choose them before we got here. It's a beautiful day today. What are you going to do?
Well, I was thinking of trying a sport, but I don't know which one.
Well, there are lots to choose from at this resort. I went windsurfing yesterday. Have you ever tried windsurfing?
Yesterday? You didn't say anything. Well, actually, I have. I tried it last year when we were on holiday in Greece, but I didn't really enjoy it. Remember?
Not really. And I can't remember why you didn't like it.
Well, I couldn't balance on the board and kept falling in the water. It was awful.
Oh, I like windsurfing. I think it's fun, and the instructors here are very friendly.
I'm sure they are, but I'd like to try something else. Something I've never tried before.
What about sailing? There's a sailing class for teenagers at 12 o'clock. I'm going to join it.
Sounds interesting, but I'm going to meet my new friend Lizzie at 11:30. We want to go swimming together. Are there any sailing classes earlier?
No, why don't you both join the sailing class and then go swimming later?
That's a good idea. I'll text her right away. Well, she says she's interested.
Cool.
See you at 12 then.
After listening to a brother and a sister talking, what is the main topic of the conversation? Is it A, their plans for the day? B, what water sports they like? C, what water sports they don't like? Or D, who has tried the most water sports? Yes, that's right. The correct answer is A, their plans for the day. The reason why A is the correct answer, it's because Dylan says at the beginning of the conversation, it's a beautiful day today. What are you going to do? And then they discuss their plans for the day. Again, please pause the video and read the 5 questions in exercise C before you listen to the instructions and the conversation. Okay, let's start.
C. Listen again and answer the questions. Write K for Kelly, D for Dylan, or B for both.
Hi, Kelly.
Hello, Dylan. Your sunglasses look cool. Are they new?
Yeah, thanks. Mum helped me choose them before we got here. It's a beautiful day today. What are you going to do?
Well, I was thinking of trying a sport, but I don't know which one.
Well, there are lots to choose from at this resort. I went windsurfing yesterday. Have you ever tried windsurfing?
Yesterday? You didn't say anything. Well, actually, I have. I tried it last year when we were on holiday in Greece, but I didn't really enjoy it. Remember?
Not really. And I can't remember why you didn't like it.
Well, I couldn't balance on the board and kept falling in the water. It was awful.
Oh, I like windsurfing. I think it's fun, and the instructors here are very friendly.
I'm sure they are, but I'd like to try something else. Something I've never tried before.
What about sailing? There's a sailing class for teenagers at 12 o'clock. I'm going to join it.
Sounds interesting, but I'm going to meet my new friend Lizzie at 11:30. We want to go swimming together. Are there any sailing classes earlier?
No, why don't you both join the sailing class and then go swimming later?
That's a good idea. I'll text her right away. Well, she says she's interested.
Cool.
See you at 12 then.
Question number 1. Who has recently bought something? Kelly tells her brother, Dylan, your sunglasses look cool. Are they new? And he replies, yeah, thanks. Mom helped me choose them before we got here. So the correct answer to question number 1 is D for Dylan. Question number 2. Who has tried windsurfing? Dylan tells his sister that he went windsurfing yesterday and asks his sister if she has ever tried it. Kelly replies, well, actually, I have. This means that they have both tried windsurfing, so the correct answer is B for both. Question number 3. Who had an unpleasant experience while doing a water sport? When talking about windsurfing, Kelly tells Dylan that she couldn't balance on the board and kept falling in the water. She also said that it was awful. This means that it was Kelly who had an unpleasant experience while doing a water sport. So the correct answer is K. Next, question number 4. Who changes his or her plans? When Dylan invites his sister Kelly to attend sailing classes at 12 o'clock, Kelly replies that she is going to meet her new friend Lizzie at 11:30. And that's why Dylan said, "Why don't you both join the sailing class?" Kelly agrees and tells her brother, "That's a good idea. I'll text her right away." So the correct answer is K for Kelly. Finally, question number 5. Who is going to join the sailing class? Well, if you answered B for both, then you are correct. Now that we are done with exercise C, let's work on exercise D.
D. Listen to the questions and answer. 1,
What does Kelly think about windsurfing?
2,
What does Dylan think about windsurfing?
3,
What does Kelly's new friend Lizzie think about the sailing class?
Now pause the video, answer the 3 questions, and come back when you are done. Okay, let's check your answers. Question number 1. What does Kelly think about windsurfing? Kelly did not enjoy windsurfing and says, "I couldn't balance on the board and kept falling in the water. It was awful." So the answer is she doesn't like it. Next, question number 2. What does Dylan think about windsurfing? When talking about windsurfing with his sister, Dylan says that he likes windsurfing and he thinks it's fun. So if you answered he thinks it's fun, then you are correct. Finally, question number 3. What does Kelly's new friend Lizzie think about the sailing class? When Kelly texts her new friend Lizzie about the sailing class, she replies that she's interested. So the correct answer is she thinks it's interesting. Great, dear students, we have achieved the second objective. We got the main idea and located specific information after listening to a dialogue. Now let's move on to the speaking task. In the speaking task, you need to ask your partner about previous experiences. You can always practice speaking with your sister, brother, or your parents. When talking about previous life experiences, the best tense to use is the present perfect simple. So let's revise the present perfect simple first. So when do we use the present perfect simple? That's right. We use the present perfect simple for actions which happened in the past, but we don't mention when exactly. For example, I have visited the National History Museum, so I don't want to go there again. Or for actions that happened in the past and their results are obvious in the present. For example, look, Jerry has broken his leg. And what about the time expressions used with the present perfect simple? Very good. We use always, or ever, or never, or before, or so far, or yet, or already, or just, or once, or twice, etc. You can always study the present perfect simple in the grammar reference section in your student book, page 116. So what's the rule for the present perfect simple? Let's start with an affirmative sentence and look at the following example. Maryam has traveled to Kuwait before. How do we start our sentence? That's right, we start with a subject, then has or have, then verb in past participle. Well, what about a negative sentence? Look at the following example. Maryam hasn't traveled to Kuwait before. So we start our sentence again with a subject, then has or have, then not, then verb in past participle. Finally, look at this example of a question. Has Maryam traveled to Kuwait before? We start the sentence with has or have, then subject, then past participle. So let's go back to the speaking task. How many things do you know about your partner? Ask your partner questions about the experiences, then put either a check mark or an X depending on your partner's answers. For example, have you ever gone on a cruise? You could answer yes, I have, or no, I haven't. What about you? Have you ever done water sports? Yes, I have, or no, I haven't. What about you? Have you ever met a famous person? And so on. Now pause the video, work on the speaking task with your partner, and come back when you are done. Excellent, dear students. With this, we have completed the last objective. We spoke about past experiences. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. See you next time.